So now we're joined by Michael Young, who is a network team leader. So Michael, can you tell us what your military background was?
Yep, so I was in the Royal Signals for about 8.5 years, and I was a communication systems engineer. Joined in 2012, and I basically worked around computer systems the whole time, managing them kind of in a first line role, and then stepped back as I became more senior within that space, and then just developed from there really into almost like a management role as a technical point of contact.
So now you've left the military and you're a veteran. What's your current role or specialism?
So I moved into a more of a management piece. So I stepped away from the technical background. I moved into managing a team of engineers. Um, Current responsibilities are basically supporting them in their activities. So having the technical background has really helped, and then using the management piece from the military. So I've applied it in a different way.
And what do you think the most significant challenges were when you left the military and then decided on a tech career?
I think the main problem was recognizing the experience that you have in the military and then applying that to civilian worlds. And it's quite easy to get stuck in the military mindset of this is the way you do it, and then go to the civilian world and find that there's a different mindset and having to adjust that. So you can often leave the military with a lot of experience that's really valid, but not necessarily the understanding of how to apply that. So that transition and understanding the different way to talk to people, perhaps, and interact with people that don't have the same background, but are just as technically able. So yeah, I'll say that really.
So transitioning into a career in the civilian sector, what are the strengths that you bring from your military career to that role?
I think it's all the foundations. So the time management, the kind of the responsibility that comes with any role. I think a lot of people in the military have a pride for their work, and that work ethic is directly transferable. Being able to work with anybody that comes in the door, really, you can't pick your team in the military, and it's the same in the civilian world. The pressure, you could argue, is higher in the military in certain circumstances. There's different pressures in the civilian world, but um, using that experience from those high pressure roles in the military, you can transition really easily.
And what do you think supported you in the transition? What role did TechVets play in that?
I think fundamentally it was knowing that there was other people going through that same process and seeing the similar challenges that they stepped into, and the discussion around it as well, knowing that um, I found it difficult taking that first step and into the unknown, and there was other people around me that were doing the same, and you can talk about it really and just have a bit of a somewhere to just touch and feel that you're not going too far wrong really, and it's okay to not necessarily know exactly what you're going to do.
Did you ever have a wobble when you left and when you signed off and then thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Did you ever think, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah, pretty much about 5 minutes after I put my notice in, yeah, I think everybody has that wobble and thinks, was that the right thing to do? Because a year is a long time, especially if you have to wait the whole length of it to kind of question what you want to do. And there's always that kind of enticement to just sign back on again and keep to your safe space. But I think everybody shows quite a lot of bravery to step away from that and into the unknown for quite a long length of time.
And so do you have any regrets about leaving the military looking back now?
I suppose there's always that last deployment that you want to do just to do the interesting work. The military is such a unique experience, and I felt I left at the right time for me on a high. So I suppose I'll always look back to that and think, oh, I just want a little bit more of that kind of buzz that you get, and um, those circumstances that you find yourself in that are both challenging but also a lot of fun. Um, it's not to say you don't find that in the civilian world, but again, it's a different different feeling. It's never quite the same as the military.
What would be your advice to other people who are looking at the TechVets platform, maybe haven't, done the 6 clicks to freedom? Is it 6 clicks or 7 clicks?
I didn't actually count, but they always say it's 7 clicks. Yeah.
7 clicks, the 7 clicks to freedom. What would be your advice to your younger self or someone who was in your position?
I think that the initial piece of advice would be, don't worry about it, it works out. But especially to people that are thinking about leaving the military, it's have a plan before you leave. The act of actually leaving sometimes can be out of frustration because they're not happy in the role, but the military does provide quite a safe space to plan your time and get some experience that civilians don't have access to. So I'd definitely say use that time wisely and plan your exit so that you don't stress and you don't snatch at a role just because it's something to do, and you really set yourself up to do something that you want to do. Maybe not necessarily long term, but that doesn't cause you to worry or question why you left the military.
Did you access the TechVets Academy while you were retraining? And if so, what did you find most useful about the certifications and academies on there?
I didn't at the time, unfortunately, because I did the qualifications that were available before I left the military, and then I realised that TechVets was there. So I didn't take advantages of it at the time because I wasn't aware, but I have stayed close to it to see what was available and then advise others off the back of that. So although I left with a plan and I was quite comfortable in leaving at the time, there was other people that I was talking to that weren't so ready. So being aware of it and being able to direct them towards it, I did find useful. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Michael. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.